Hey guys, welcome to McDonough Coaching. So we're going to do another kind of follow along for non-specific lower back pain. And so we want to be figure out which exercises are working for you. So I'll kind of explain as we go along. So let's just test our movements first. So we're going to do some lower back movements, some thoracic movements, and kind of some hip movements. You want to kind of test yourself. So we're looking either to reduce pain or increase range of movement. And so a nice easy one to do is you retest just reaching for the toes. So if I'm, you can't see my head, but if I'm reaching down and say I'm getting to just above my knee, just below my knees, and it's painful and stiff, that can be one test for you to do. Yeah, so how far you're coming down your shins and how that movement feels. Yeah. Then if we look at your thoracic movement, so a good test here, so I'll kind of show you inside, is drop your elbows to knees, okay? And then you're rotating out, yeah? So if you've got good flexibility, you'll be able to get to where your arm is nearly horizontal. Yeah, so I'm a bit stiff on this movement. And then do the other side, yeah? So again, I'll show you here. So here, so you should be able to get to at least 45 degrees. So if you're like here, that's very stiff. Here is probably where you want to be at least or more. So, and the more you do that movement, the better movements you're going to get. And then for hip active range of movement, you can look at internal, external rotation. So if you lie on your back or on a chair, I'll show you in a chair. So from here to here, that total range of movement, yeah, should be about 70 degrees. So external rotation should be between 30 and 40 degrees. And then internal rotation, then you're looking at 40 to 50. So you should be roughly about 40 degrees each direction. It's an easier way to remember it. Yeah, but usually we get better external rotation than internal, I believe. So you're looking at those kind of movements to see what feels stiff. Okay? So we're going to do a follow along, so let's go hands and knees. So we're going to start with the lower back. So we're going to do these kind of gentle mobility exercises. We're not doing any strengthening work. So you can have a look at my isometric strengthening for that. Today is all about mobility, releasing tight muscles, tight joints, and just getting you moving better. So let's go child's pose. So 4 points, okay? You bring your knees nice and wide, and you want to sit back on top of your heels. And if your pain is very irritable, you can rock back and forth like so. So let's do a couple of these. And keep going like this if it doesn't start. So it should start to ease, but if it doesn't, just keep doing it dynamically. So we want to exercises that improve your movement and or reduce your pain. Okay, let's sit back and hold. So I've got a bit of back pain over the last couple of days, more of an ache rather than pain. So I thought I'd do this for myself and for yous. So nice and relaxed in the child's pose. Try not to fall asleep. You could bring your hands here if you wish, or here, if that's more comfortable. Because it doesn't really matter, because the purpose of this is to mobilize your lower back. And again, you can stay in this position for up to 2 minutes. If it begins to feel a bit achy, just slowly come out of it. If not, stay in the position and then go back down. So we're just opening this lower back. And then slowly come out. If you've got more of an ache on one side, you want to reach to the opposite side. So for me, I've got a bit more of an ache on my right, or if you've got pain more on the right. So I'm going to reach to the left, so I'm going to open this side, and then I'm going to sit back again. So you can just reach to one side, then sit back until you feel that stretch or opening on that side. Again, let's hold it here. So again, if you need to kind of rock back and forth, that's okay, until it eases. And again, we're just holding here. And if it's not painful more on one side and it's just down the middle, just bring your hands back into the front and stretch it off there. And again, this is the same as doing hugging your knees on your back, or sitting on a chair. Bring your legs apart and reach for the floor. Anything when you're flexing your spine. And then slowly coming out of that. Okay, we're going to go, still on lower back, we're going to go fishtail. So again, here, here. So you get a bit of rotation of your lower back. Okay. And last one, and relax. So, what you could do after this, you can come have a stand, reach for the toes again. If that movement is feeling easier or less painful, so if you're coming down further, you've got less pain, then you know the child's pose is working for you. Yeah. So you might just feel some tightness in the hamstrings like I do. Yeah. Okay, let's come back down. Let's go, you're going to go mid back. So you're going to go cat camel. So here, so your pelvis is tilting. You're bringing your shoulder blades together. You're looking forward slightly. Okay? So you're flexing and extending your spine. Mid back to lower back. Even neck a bit. And bringing your shoulder blades together as you, I believe it's posteriorly tilt your pelvis. Yeah. And then coming the other way. Well, I think this is posterior tilting, the other way is anterior. Okay. And then shoulder blades apart. So let's do 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Okay, we're going to go thread the needle next. So we'll do 5 reps of 3 variations. Yeah, so I'm reaching underneath, in between my left hand and my knee, and then I'm coming out. So as I come out here, I'm feeling a stretch in my pec, and then in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna pop my hand on my back. Same movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pop a hand on the head. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2. Open book. 3, 4, 5. Hand on your back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand on your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, going to move on towards the hips. So we're working on hip flexion, so bringing our knees to the chest and external rotation. I'm going to show you from the side first. So I'll show you this side first. So you go into a nice split stance or lunge position. So I like this stretch. So you're going to get a stretch of your hip flexor here. You're going to, on my right leg, stretch my hamstring on my left. As I drive my elbow into my knee and push that knee out, I'm going to get a stretch here on my adductors. So my adductor here, as I push my knee out that way. Yeah. So I'll show you this way. So I'm here, hip flexor stretch, hamstring stretch, knee out to get my adductor, and I'm opening those hips out, and then I'm driving my elbow in to get that stretch. Okay. So let's hold it here. Okay. And depending on your flexibility, how far you're going to come down here into this position. Yeah. So some people will be able to get their forearm down. I do not. And then if it becomes too much, you don't want to aggravate your pain, you can come out. This leg is straight. Back is straight. I'm leaning forward until I get that stretch of this hamstring alone. And again, I can bend my knee and come back into it. So you're looking for where it feels tight. Okay. Then you're going to push that out. So again, we're working on external rotation, hip flexion. So from here, I can pop my hand here and turn. As I turn, this leg is rotating. Yeah. So you won't be able to see it from that angle, but my foot is rotating. So my outside of my back foot is more in contact with the floor. And again, it should be just a stretch, not pain. Okay. And then I can come down and I can come away. Okay, and then ease out of it if you need to. Again, we don't need to aggravate symptoms. We want to feel a stretch, relief, not pain. Okay, let's ease out of that. Nice and slow. Let's go to the other side. So again, I'm going to come back into this position. I'm going to bring my right foot forward. Again, I like to hook my hand into it and then push my leg forward. Okay, I'm not overly flexible. And then here. Okay, and then I'm driving that side out. So I'm a bit tighter on this right hip, which is expected because I am having some right side lower back into my kind of top of my pelvis, my glutes, bit of ache there, tenderness from trying to lift the heavy weights. So where I need to go lighter on the weight, the more repetitions, I went too heavy. And my form, the heavier you go, the better your form needs to be. So obviously I need to work on that. Because believe it or not, I'm not perfect. Shocker. Now I should have some tunes hopefully in the background of this. Some tunes. And again, what you can do, you can ease out into the stretch. And again, as I lean forward, put my back straight, again that stretch, because my hamstrings are super tight. I don't need to lean forward much to get that stretch. If you need a block or something to help you with your balance, yeah, yoga block or whatever, you might have a big book or be inventive. Okay, I'm going to come back into this. Okay, and then as we did before, I'm going to pop my hand on the inside of my knee. Again, I'm trying to work at opening my hips here. And I'm looking behind me. And this leg is rotating a bit as I come into this stretch. Again, try to open those hips up. And again, let's come out of that. Let's go into working the hips again. So we're going to go on to next some joint work. So we're going to do the hip joint or hip capsule. So we're going to try to get that ball and socket joint moving more. So what we're going to do is you're going to pop one foot over. So I'm going to do my right side, which is my affected side. Okay, I'm going to sit back into the corner. So I have this in another video just on the hip capsule. Okay. And after each specific exercise, you can retest yourself, that movement that's painful or stiff. So if it is reaching for your toes, retest yourself. Because you don't want to have to do all of these exercises, you want to figure out which ones are the ones working for you. So I would retest yourself after doing this one. Aim to do it, well, you could just do it on if you do have only one hip or lower back, one side of your lower back that's painful, just do it on that side, stand up, reach for the toes. Because if your movements are quite poor around your poor hip movements, it might be because you've got stiffness in your hip joint by doing this mobilization. So again, I'm sitting back into my right. I'll show you here. I'm sitting back. Let me do it this way. Sitting back into my right. If you're getting any impingement in your hip, just bring that foot further up your calf and that will open up your hip more. And again, it should feel like your hip is coming through your bum. So there is other hip capsule mobilizations you can do and stuff you can do with bands to get that hip joint moving more. But this is a good one you can do without bands. could do it here, where you bring that foot behind and you're locking that foot in and then doing it. I find it this way is a lot better though. Okay, so let's go to the other side. So about 2 minutes on that one each side, ideally. Again, it's not really a joint mobilization, it's a capsule. So your capsule entails the joint itself, the labrum in your hip, and all those little ligaments that attach around your hip. This can be a good one as well for people with radiating pain as well sometimes. And we always look at the joints above and below the area of pain. So it's back, we always look at hip and thoracic, so your mid-back. If someone had elbow pain, I'd always look at their wrist and shoulder. Shoulder pain, you'd always have a look at elbow and neck, etc., etc. And you want a mobile hip. You've got it, and you want a mobile thoracic, and you want a stable lumbar. Because if you've got stiffness in a joint or above and below, then your body's going to look for that mobility or stability elsewhere. Okay. Let's ease off that. We're going to look at thoracic mobility. So you got a couple of options. You got a foam roller. You got a double tennis ball or a cross ball. You can basically get that into your back. And I've done this in another video. So you got thoracic extension mobilizations on my channel. So have a look at that. We're just going to go foam roller. So you're looking for where it feels stiff. Okay. So feet flat. You can give yourself a big hug and that takes your shoulder blades out of the way. Okay. And then you got a couple of variations again, which is in that other video. So you can just kind of come here. You're trying to break your back over it essentially.